do the... Okay. I hope everybody stayed. Everybody's still here. We're all good to go. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, so I think they have a really good package here in Mexico. It seems like it's, they're rolling it out sort of in phases. I like that the prime minister just said, like, we're not really at risk of having this be a huge epidemic here. Going to that's got any kind of investments, we'll see that the peso is very low right now, which sucks because it's the fifth most stable currency in the world. So, oh hey, Tesla Leia is back. Hola Seattle. Someone was on from Seattle in the last chat that got cut off. Yeah, so it sucks to see that happen to the peso, but it's a really good time right now if you want to book some travel for April or May. There's even a lot of flight deals going on for September through November too. Like, I mean, I've seen deals like I've never seen before. This is obviously going to be massive. Like, the cruising industry is over, and like, I've wanted that to end for a long time. Cruises are horrible for the environment. They are just horrible. They also don't help local economies. They just destroy them, and they need to just be taken out of service. They are, when they get caught doing things like dumping sewage into the ocean, they just pay the fine and go back to doing it. I mean, the destruction that even one cruise ship doing that does to the world is beyond reparation in our lifetime. Still a bad connection. I can't do anything about. Hey, Ricardo in Sonora. I wonder what Sonora is like. Come to LA. No, I would never go to the United States in a crisis. In a crisis because of the savage mentality of every man for themselves, the hoarding mentality, which is, I don't feel like all Americans have it, but I feel like it's promoted, and yeah, promoting that kind of thing is fingers crossed. We have a trip planned to Guatemala. Shamika, first they said 2 days ago that they would have nobody coming in from Canada, the States, or Europe. First they said those passports, then they corrected and said from those places, like if they'd been there in the last 30 days, they can't come in. Now they've just shut border, and nobody can. So as of right now, I'm keeping my Airbnb booking, and I'm gonna see. I think, for us, I rent my place out for Semana Santa here in order to pay for us to go on that trip. And now without that, can't get it rented. We can't go. We can't afford to. So if it happens in the next, we'll go. But to be honest, that part of me wants to stay here and still do our vacation if somebody rents it. We still want to get out of the beach. I don't want to be here for Semana Santa. But maybe we'll go within the country because I feel like I want to help stimulate this economy. Like, I want to do my part by paying into this. That's my gut instinct. I feel really safe in Mexico. I really trust Mexicans. I really, people are hand sanitizing. I was at the gym today and we were spraying our hands with alcohol in between using everything, and just being more cautious. We aren't doing anything in teams, and I feel like I just don't people at a higher cost. Like, I just don't feel that will happen here. I mean, maybe I'll be wrong, but this is just not the vibe here. This is not how people act here. So I feel like I trust my people here. I am, however, Luna has a cough right now. She's had a cough for 2 weeks. She gets it because she gets really bad heat rash. It lowers her immune system, and then she's just like open to anything. And it happens all hot season for her. And the hot season is back now. So she'll be getting this cough on and off until October. It's like she'll grow out of it eventually, but it's a real, I mean, you name it, I've put it on the heat rash. She's doing yogurt. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Restaurants are closed where you are. Yeah, I mean, people are freaking. It's a flu. It's a flu. The flu is going to cycle through the population no matter what you do. I watched a guy, a great interview with the dude. The interview, he said some really good things. Like, it's like together. He's like that there's going to be sick people on top of everyone's going to be like a global recession. That the things together are what make it so bad. The flu is overrated. Well, in Canada, the flu has already killed worried about getting 12 shot and a high dose vitamin C because that'll just help like really reinforce the immune systems we already have. And not because I'm more worried about 5G. Me too. And you know what? We live kind of close to a tower. I don't. Every time I go by it, has a baby. Well, Nellie, who helps me with my house, who helps clean my house, she and her family live really. I'm walking back. I about 5G too. I gotta say, I love our followers because everybody's like, pretty calm. I think for me, so we will cancel our trip to Guatemala if it feels too hairy, and we won't cancel. Like we're just gonna postpone. There was to see Lucia, and if you watch our videos, you know who Lucia is. She's Luna's casi abuela, and what was it last night? We're not. Yeah, we'll see about Guatemala. I think we might stay here. The good news is we're gonna do lots of. Hi. Mine says no connection. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I feel safer in Guatemala than I think that is a personal choice. Like I feel that the calling home, for instance, Canadians, and I have some Canadian friends who are down here in Mexico right now, and they're trying to figure out like, do they go home and self quarantine in the winter with a bunch of people hoarding toilet paper, or do they stay here? Like what feels better to them. And I kind of understand the want to go home, like to feel safe at home. I personally 1000% do not trust the Guatemalan government over the Mexican one. The reason that I have more faith in Mexicans is because I see how they handle things like the earthquake without. Although people got up and helped out in the crisis, it didn't continue after. Whereas in Mexico, like it just continues. Like they just keep going. So I definitely feel safer here. I feel like there's more, like the hospitals can handle things better here. There's a lot more services. There's a lot more. It's just a lot more. There's a lot more hospitals, a lot more clinics, a lot more doctors, nurses. There's a lot more to deal with a crisis here than in Guatemala. In Guatemala, they're only going to take care of the 20%. They won't take care of poor people. So that's scary. Any country in the world that has a big poor body and a small ruling class, and then Marcella, I'm in North Dakota, and we aren't seeing much severe buffering, no connection. Greetings from LA. Overall, I feel like Costa Rica is the safest country in Central America. I would choose Costa Rica over Guatemala and Mexico. I definitely wouldn't. We'd be dead in the water in Costa Rica. It's so expensive. It's New York price. It's so expensive that Luna and I would be homeless in about 2 weeks in sus. So this is the thing with Canada. It's like I don't want to be in Canada. I can't afford to not work and be. I can't afford to work the way I already work and live there. We already can't go there because they don't have any affordable childcare. So there's no way I would want to be in an expensive country in this at all. Because, my business took a hit, obviously, and we're basically like on hold with my work right now. If I was living in a place like Costa Rica, I would be worried about food. And, anybody who's ever worried about whether they're going to eat or not before will tell you that it's a very different. Gracias. ¿Es posible mi cuenta, por favor? Gracias. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up because I have a feeling that hopefully, we're going to be really, really healthy. We're protecting our immune system, not because we're able to go and help in any way that I can, like whether that's, washing sheets somewhere or making sandwiches or peeling potatoes or helping people in some way. I don't know if that would mean we would go to Oaxaca City or to the FA or not, but I want to be able to be healthy enough to help other people that are not healthy or could maybe use it, and help my staff. The people that work for me are all gig workers, and they're all broke. They don't know how they're going to get through this time in Canada. The government's saying that they're going to help people until rent. That's at least like good for now. I would be terrified if I was in Canada. I would be absolutely terrified. And the cushion here, I'm living in somewhere that is so affordable that, we can take everyone in the world to the internet. Yeah, everyone's on their Netflix heavy right now. Netflix is having a heyday. But I did want to say that today I'm going to be uploading a video about Chanclas, our new puppy who's living in our house. So hopefully that will make people feel a little better to see an adorable little puppy and their cute connection. It's still like cuteness overload in our house right now. And we live a really little life. Like we just go to the corner and I walk 1 block to the gym and 2 blocks to Luna's school, and I go get my coconut water, and like we I did a swim lesson with Luna yesterday. Muchísimas gracias. So that she rash and like that. It's really, the biggest drama we have at our house is that Chunkless and Luna and Spooky goes out with a cat or a dog, or trying to get Luna not to burn up the grass with her pee pee anymore because she just loves going outside. Like, that's the biggest drama we have. Like I really we're so blessed. Like we're so incredibly blessed, and I just feel so lucky to live in Mexico during all of this. And yeah, I'm hoping that there's going to be opportunities for us to help out if needed. And I have my accountant in Canada notifying me the second that there's going to be, so we'll most likely share what I have with my neighbors. Narcissistic are the, I don't want to point any fingers or anything, but it is a real opportunity to start thinking about how we can create more community in future and help each other out, and that focus. I think it's really, everyone I know in Canada is okay financially, and they're just kind of checking in with me like, don't worry, I'm fine. And I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the working poor who are a paycheck away from poverty and can't withstand financially something like this. I'm worried about people that are already sick and dying and have lung conditions, and elderly people who are treasures in their families and treasures to our community, and how I can do my part to help those people out more, you know. And I wish that I was seeing more articles about that online and ways to boost your immune system. Like, lay off the recreational drugs, man. Slow down on the drinking. Lay off the darts. Like, now is the time to really, really take that. Sleep lots. Get a good night's sleep. Keep your anxiety low. Take good, take long baths. I miss baths. Like, do the loving things for yourself and the people that you love most who need it more. Like, I think it's so important to think about what we have. Like, if everybody thought about what they had to give instead of hoarding, I feel like this would be easier for us to go through globally. And it's already evident that the countries have that mentality already ingrained in are braving it much better. So that's all I gotta say on that. And I will let everybody know if we cancel our Guatemala trip or if we're going. One or the other, you'll know. And I don't know. COVID-19 is supposed to hit here next end of this week, start of next. So more to come. I will let you know what shakes down for us. In the meantime, enjoy our videos about puppies, and hug your babies. I hope everybody is safe and sound and sleeping really good. Okay, bye.